he's closer to the edge, living in the shadows, a quiet pledge. He's got a dark passenger, taking control, a bloodstained hand, a heart turned cold. But he's fighting for justice in his own way. On the edge of night, he's leading the way. The truth won't fade, and the line's so thin. Is he the hunter, or is he the sin? With every step, he's closer to the edge, living in the shadows, a quiet pledge. He's got a dark passenger, taking control, a bloodstained hand, a heart turned cold. But he's fighting for justice in his own way. On the edge of night, he's leading the way. The code, the shadows, it's all laid bare. In a world of darkness, he'll always care. Dexter, the man with the twisted view, fighting for justice, but at what cost too? The code, the shadows, it's all laid bare. In a world of darkness, he'll always care. Dexter, the man with the twisted view, fighting for justice, but at what cost too? In the night, when the world's asleep, he walks alone with secrets he keeps. A man with a mask, a life on the line, fighting the urge, but it's hard to define. Underneath the calm, there's a storm inside, a darkness he can never hide. The truth is cruel, but the code is clear. For the ones who hurt, he has no fear. He's got a dark passenger, taking control, a bloodstained hand, a heart turned cold. But he's fighting for justice in his own way. On the edge of night, he's leading the way. Dexter's got a plan and a twisted mind, chasing down the guilty, leaving them behind. In the shadows, he plays the part, a hero and a monster torn apart. But the truth won't fade, and the line's so thin. Is he the hunter, or is he the sin? With every step, he's closer to the edge, living in the shadows, a quiet pledge. He's got a dark passenger, taking control, a bloodstained hand, a heart turned cold. But he's fighting for justice in his own way. On the edge of night, he's leading the way. The truth won't fade, and the line's so thin. Is he the hunter, or is he the sin? With every step, he's closer to the edge, living in the shadows, a quiet pledge. He's got a dark passenger, taking control, a bloodstained hand, a heart turned cold. But he's fighting for justice in his own way. On the edge of night, he's leading the way. The code, the shadows, it's all laid bare. In a world of darkness, he'll always care. Dexter, the man with the twisted view, fighting for justice, but at what cost too?
Lycans and gentlemen, children of the night, nocturnals, night terrors, and all things that go bump in the night. Welcome to your monthly treatment of shock therapy. The doctor will see you now. Show me your woes, and I'll cure all that ails you. Consider me your night watchman for this evening's festivities here at the Mind's Eye Theater. I invite you to violate curfew along with me for this graveyard shift. I am your host incarnate for this sold-out show. Happy Valentine's Day? I know, a very strange holiday indeed for this finale to fall on, but I'll take what we can get, and I'm here to welcome you to episode 10, the season 1 finale of Dexter Original Sin. Again, not the holiday I would have ended it on, but you know, I guess we could get it worse. I, for one, am very much looking forward to this episode. It being the finale, of course. We will get to... actually, we'll just get to that now. So, we've had a number of developments from last week. Just to catch everyone up to speed, we had interesting developments with Deborah. And before I get into that, while there has not been a lull in this season, and I applaud the handlers for that, truly in the last few episodes, and I guess it's to be expected leading up to the finale of a show, you have to understand that things have ramped up so much in ways that not even I was expecting. I was trying not to think ahead, not to anticipate, not to kind of blow the whistle for myself. So I was just letting it all enjoy the show in stride. But man, because I took that approach and wasn't trying to, write the plot myself, as I often do find myself doing when I'm watching movies or shows, I gotta be honest, I was happily taken by surprise by many of the developments that we've seen. So, like I was mentioning, Deborah's developments were interesting because she finally, when she had hit rock bottom with her boyfriend, with her scholarship, admittedly with her family, she was looking to make a turn, looking to improve things because they had clearly spiraled out of control, and this was due in part, well, not due in part, but going along with the recent anniversary of her mother's passing. She went to visit the Miami precinct for the first time. I think we've seen her there. And now she's had something, not just a change of heart in terms of doing better in her own life, but this is what's going to start her in the career path where we meet Deb as a part of Miami Metro. So I did very much like that turn, and the fact that her godfather, Harry's partner, is the person who had gotten hospitalized while on the duty. I really liked that. I liked how they tied all that together, even though we really haven't seen much of Deb with her godfather. But, give the show its credit, give the show its due. In addition to that, seeing her cross paths with LaGuerta for the first time, I personally thought I enjoyed that. I wasn't expecting that. And it's funny because, usually Deb is much more hard-nosed. But when she was around LaGuerta, LaGuerta can have a tough shell to her. So I like that she was coming off as like the chipper young kid, and LaGuerta was just having none of that. And we obviously saw in the mainline show how it is that relationship developed, very antagonistic. So in addition to that, the other development that we saw was something of a interesting table session between Dexter and the man who, it's not even a spoiler at this point, who has been revealed as to be not just the killer, the child abductor that Miami Metro was after, but none other than the police chief I know. And in addition to that, Dexter had finally caught him after realizing who he was and confirming the kill, so to speak. But while they were there having their discourse, Dexter as well as the lieutenant on the table, I was actually wondering whether or not Dexter had gotten this wrong, just because the police chief was denying it. And look, they all deny it when they're on the table, but I don't know, the way that it was playing out, I'm just like, is this guy really, is he the guy? But sure enough, I mean, we saw him, but it really struck me as odd. So Dexter had let this guy loose in order for Dexter to follow him back to where his son was being held. So when I saw that, it made me kind of guess where they're going to go, which I'll get to shortly. However, the final development is Brian Moser's revelation. Oh my God. So not only is he brutally on the scene in a frightening way, but doing the pendulum effect of showing the quote-unquote modern day, which is Dexter in Miami precinct and an active vigilante, but also volleying back and forth between that time period and when Dexter's mother was in an affair with Harry. The scene of Deborah Morgan, Dexter Morgan, and Brian Moser under the same roof was eerie. And the fact that Brian Moser as a child tried to smother Deborah Morgan as a baby, oh my God, that was harrowing to say the least. But it was just wild to see all these kids under one roof at one time. So let me read the synopsis for tonight's episode, and then we'll jump into episode 10, Code Blues, excuse me. It reads as follows. Dexter races to find the missing kidnapped child before it's too late. Deb visits her godfather in the hospital and rethinks her future. Harry comes face to face with a serial killer. So, to gauge fan reception, there's a little poll that I like to give every watch party, which I hope that you'll take part in. So your choices are Bottom of the Burial, Shallow Grave, and High Stakes. So these are what your expectations of the show that we're about to watch are. So, I mean, my God, I say it week after week. This show has been delivering one banger after another. Like, honestly, what other rating could I possibly give it than High Stakes? So, the totem poll is now live. You should be able to see it. There we are. So, unfortunately, it's only available on YouTube, but I can still read your comments if you comment under any different platform. So, by all means, I invite you to do so. So, with that being said, let me take care of a couple of housekeeping items, and then we'll get this bad boy started. So, excuse me. Oh, before I get to that, naturally, I invite you to stream the show along with me. You can queue it up on Paramount Plus. You have to have a Showtime subscription. So let me take care of these housekeeping items, which gives you time to get some popcorn and soda pop ready. So this watch party is brought to you in partnership with Hotness TV. It being a President's Day weekend, probably the last weekend for a while, right? Or last holiday weekend for a while. I do invite you to take a look at the sponsorships that I have in the links in my description if you're in the market for either Jabra headsets or Samsung devices. I'm watching this on a Samsung TV with a Samsung surround sound in front of my Samsung Blu-ray player on my Samsung phone next to my Samsung tablet. You get the deal. Samsung owns my living room, basically. So If you want to do the same, now I can get a nice kickback for it. So, in addition to that, the Mind's Eye Theater is a proud affiliate of the upcoming horror documentary, Mental Health and Horror, a documentary which has had a couple of rough spots lately, however, is still very much in the works. I confirmed it yesterday. So when that releases, I'll be doing not just a watch party of it, but a review. So in addition to that, you can check the support link up top if you are of a mood. I'll just consider it your pound of flesh. The software that I use to stream these watch parties, it's called Streamlabs. They were nice enough to give me my own merch store. I will be having updates regarding merch in the coming weeks. Therefore, we are coming to you live, streaming on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Kick, X, Rumble, and Locals. And in the enduring battle between Incarnate and the algorithm, my fans are my strongest weapon. Therefore, I kindly ask for you to get them likes of. Therefore, without further ado, I now present to you this creature presentation. Igor, throw the switch. Okay. Queuing this up. And we are about to begin. Right about now. They're just going to give us our little recap of last week. Yep, this show has spoiled us with revelations that we were previously unaware of, which, I mean, who can ask for more? Man, this was dark. Jeez, kid. And we don't want to. See, I didn't know, like, how long this was gonna stretch for in terms of, like, timeline. Oh boy, here we go. Damn. That's frick. Jesus. I think it was that flaw. I mean, I understand Harry's reluctance to believe him since it was his friend that he was blaming, but that drives a wedge between Dexter and his father. That was awesome. Those two scenes. So you go against your kid? Smart, Dexter. Man, this is... I'm just gonna say it. I think that it is the chopping up of the lieutenant that Harry walks in on, and that's what drives him over the edge. I think we're about to see two officers down in this episode. Again, like I wasn't playing, Mr. Speculation watching the show. I wasn't like thinking or attempting to telegraph or predict where they were going to go. I was just kind of along for the ride. So I never imagined that they were going to introduce the ice truck killer, who is Dexter's brother. I didn't even think of that, you know? I had wondered if that was him at the restaurant, who wanted to sit with Dexter. He was the guy that when Dexter was alone at the table, Dexter was approached by someone and asked, "Hey, is this seat free? Is this spot taken?" And then Dexter responded that he was there with friends. And the guy kind of retreated. That was his brother. And I wondered that, but I didn't delve too deeply into it. But man, the fact that while Dexter is learning the tools of the trade, it's very eerie that his brother was, and I kept using the word active, when he was as well. And here we go. Oh my god. Dude. Oh my god. Jesus. Huh. Wow. Oh, Jesus. Huh. They're narrating it from Brian's perspective. That's interesting. That's a first. Yeah, that was rough. The way that they set this up was really creepy too. How you see the ice truck killer like playing bingo with some woman. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Wow. There was never a consideration that he... Oh, man. Wow. Yo. Oh. Oh. Huh. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Nah. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Jeez. It was never... It was never considered that he had endured further trauma. Hmm. Wow. Uh-oh. Jeez, how did this go sour? Wow. What? Damn. Whoa. That's not... Jesus. This was the... Damn. Wow. See what I... See what I mean about this show? It never... It delves deeper, and it never feels like filler. It never feels like... It never feels like they're just wasting time or trying to pad out an episode. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Not what he wants to hear. Ouch. Oh. Yeah, he's just got to play along. They gotta go. Jesus. Wow. Well, same time next week. Yeah, this is brutal. Damn. You know, with the whole, psychiatric therapy. Oh, That guy's life ended in less than a minute. Just going out for a walk. Man, it's funny because usually in slasher movies, like something like this would just be glossed over. You know what I mean? And that's why I consider serial killer. You're not going to the... Oh, anyway, this is why I consider serial killer fair to be separate from slashers. Like, slashers, they almost go out of their way to not incorporate psychology and forensics, you know what I mean? In fact, they don't. They outright ignore it. It's got to be some kind of trap, right? I knew it was on a docked boat. You don't have to be there. You don't have to be there, Harry. Thank God he's out of the house. I don't have to deal with his snoring. Oh, hugs and kisses. Yeah, something tells me he doesn't make it. Not just because he's black. You owe me. I doubt it. He's probably gonna wake up and ask you to lower your volume. Oh man. Hmm. Mm-mm. Uh-oh. Damn. That is, yeah. It's all coming together. It's crazy to think how can I put it? One case that Harry was working on that turned into an affair that would turn into something so grisly. It would, the death of his informant and lover and the creation of two, I mean, let's call them what they are, two monsters in Dexter and Brian. This is interesting and eerie. Much bigger than the slice of life, right? Pretty narrow in there. Smart, I guess. It's gonna take me forever to clean up that kitchen. Yeah, he's barely got the energy. Poor kid. I wonder how this one's gonna go down. Again, I think it's a, oh god. They had to make a whole tent. Wow. Ghosts from the past. It's wild that Dexter was active at the same time that Brian was, and now Dexter and Harry are on the hunt for two separate serial killers. Wow. Yeah. I doubt that they're gonna cross paths. I'm curious as to how this hunt will play out. Again, I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Distraction. I wish that Patrick Dempsey was just a much more interesting character. Oh, nice. Ooh, good hit. What the? Nice. Oh, crap. Oh! Right in his gut. Damn. That's gotta hurt. This kid's gotta be like emaciated by. Oh man, he's gonna drown him. Wow. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but still, Jesus. Isn't that a ladder right in front of him? Ah, what a jerk. I mean, again, I wish that Patrick Dempsey just had. I wish he was just a better actor and had more of a presence. Oh, crap. To make things worse, Jesus. I was going to say, like, isn't there enough buoyancy that he could... Wow. Damn. Well, something tells me they'll be crossing paths later on. Oof. Yep, that's a bit of a problem. How are you gonna fix that one? Wow, and he's right there. Uh-huh. Ah. That's dicey. See, I've always felt that the thing about Dexter is that he was a monster trying to become a man, whether he intended to or not, and that was his downfall. And by the way, I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but I've always hated the grandstanding of certain websites, IGN, who they go out of their way to like condemn him and oh my God, how could anyone root for it? It's like, are you serious? Haha, nice. And they were right next to the... What did he say? A half mile from... Yeah, that close to Miami Metro. I mean, look at that. He was a hero. Was he misguided? Was, you know... Yes, but he didn't, how can I put this? He obviously didn't intend to put people in the line of fire, but at the same time, he, how can I put it? God damn, I'm over here trying to break this down. This really is a good actress. In the face. Well, Dexter didn't intend for, people who he cared about to be put in the line of fire. You have to understand that he never intended to care. He never intended to love, because he thought that that part of himself was dead. He didn't intend to be married or care about his sister or have a son. I did mention that, how what do you call it? Uh-oh. Or do they cross paths? Oh, wow. I didn't think they would. Mm-hmm. Mm. Jeez. I did not think that these two would ever cross paths. Man, he really did get even with everybody. Wow. Man. Oh boy. Yeah. Yep. Man, he looks just like the ice truck killer. Ooh. Well, ouch. Ouch. That's a stiff reminder. But, ooh, that's rough and true. I mean, yeah, he's not lying. Yeah, harsh but true. He took the words right out of my mouth. at her. Mm. Hmm. Uh-oh. What does he have in his hand? And I'm not talking about... This is about to go down. Man, this is tense. Oh, wow. Yo. Dude, this guy's freaking twisted as hell. Oof. Well, that was instantaneous. Who's this watching this? Damn. Jace. Oh my god. Oh wow. Jesus. Well. Jesus. Oops. Wow. Oh. I can't be bothered to worry about that. Oh. In comes Daredevil. Strange that he didn't kill him. I guess he couldn't. I don't know. What? Uh-oh. Wow. See, this takes a whole new turn to... Man, he didn't make it. Oh. Anyway, this takes a whole new turn to the ice truck killer's relationship with Deb, because in as much as he was doing it for Dexter, he was probably also doing it to get back at Harry from beyond the grave. Because obviously the ice truck killer was about settling scores, you know what I mean? Did he have him strapped like that the whole time? Wow. Familiar spot. Really? One big happy family. Jesus. Does he have some secret to tell him? Really? You're the one casting stones? Well. There's got to be more that happens. Jesus. You might need a bath there, kiddo. How? Let me see. We've got about, I imagine, 10 more minutes left in this show. You two gonna catch up on You don't say. Uh-oh. Huh. He's drunk. Hmm. I'm sure that scotch helped. What? Oh. I didn't think. I was wondering if he was going to keep that. If they were going to have mutual secrets that they kept from each other. Hmm. Wow. That was unexpected. Hmm. See, again, this is the grand tragedy of Dexter. He's a monster that tried to become a man, and in season 4 he asked the question, "Can I have it all?" And the answer that he received in tragic form was no. Hmm. Too true. Never existed. Hmm. Well said. Oof. This is, yeah. See, they revisit this moment so many times, but each time they do, they add a layer. Hmm. Wow. Yeah. And again, like Dexter, he was, and I hate to say this, but he worked best when he was an instrument, a tool to try to. By the time that he realized that he wanted these things, you know, a son, a wife, a sister, a family, a life. By the time he realized that he wanted these things, it was already too late. Oh, did we see the best? Yeah, man. There's my girl. Uh-oh. Well said. For now. Oh, I'm glad these two got to reunite. Hmm. Not the first time that someone within Miami Metro will be called out as a serial killer. Hmm. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Huh. Is this where he maybe meets that therapist? Hmm. Really? I could have used more of Angel and hmm. Oh. I could have used more of Angel and Masuka, the supporting cast. Oh, oh, my own lanyard. Welcome to the team. And, and I do feel like, jeez, I do feel like Sarah Michelle Gellar was a little wasted because she's, you know, just there. God, that laugh. Mm-hmm. That's it? Oh, he did survive. Look at that. I was sure that he wasn't. Aw, coming together moment. Interesting turnaround there. All right, show. Like, what's gonna be the ending here? You've had like 3 or 4 conclusions. How does this wrap up? Bottomless pit that he is. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought that said something about joining the force. Oh, it is. Uh-huh. You see, this actress gets like the soft side of Deb, which I love about her. Like, yes, she has that hard shell, but there, you know, she will give that warm, yeah, maybe not. She will give that warm smile, and it's like very endearing. Oh my God, I can't believe they're playing this. Oh Lord, get off the stage. Immediately embarrass herself. What the heck? What are you? Get off the stage. Not how you dance that. What are you doing? Oh my God. Wow. Is it? Hmm. Uh-huh. Good point. It's good that Harry... It's good that Harry acknowledges that, and he tells that to Dexter. Yeah. It's a really weird thing for there to be a bond, God, a bond like that over something like homicide. Lord. Pickle. Ew. Oh God! Please stop it. This is torture. What the hell is she doing? God almighty. In overalls. Jesus. Everyone else is like purposely not going all out with the dancing just so like they look better by comparison. God. They just refuse. Oh wow. Man. Never too far. Oof. That must have cut him deep. Oh, man. Bravo.
And now his watch is ended.
And now their watch is ended.
So, I hope you enjoyed this episode and this watch party. I thought that what was going to happen is that Dexter obviously saves the day, catches the bad guy, rescues the kid, but that obviously, how can I put it? Not necessarily that this particular kill would send him over the edge, because, you know, not over the edge, but it would be be taken much more personally because it's a child and it was someone else's, what Dexter thought was the killer's own child. But the fact that it was an innocent, I thought that Dexter was going to take particular revelry offing this fiend. And while Harry is off solving crimes or on the pursuit of, or in the pursuit of Dexter's brother, he was going to come home and find his police lieutenant's head and arms and legs and various pieces, the way he did the crime scene at the rooftop. And that was what was going to be the inciting sight that would have compelled Harry to bump himself off. I thought we were setting up for more than one officer down, and that's how this was going to end. It did end on something of a soft note, like as you can hear from my, anxiousness. The show had it did one of those movie type endings where it's like 3 or 4 endings. It's like, come on, just wrap it up already. I'm not gonna say it was a disappointment, but it didn't end the way that I thought it would. It kind of ended. How can I put it? Not on like the bang that, that not a cliffhanger, but not as explosive as a finale as I would have expected. Because again, I thought that the Harry was done for. So it's a pleasant surprise that we get to see more of him in what I imagine will be a second season to Original Sin. Having said that, the highlight of this episode for me was Dexter's brother coming across and crossing paths with Harry. To see, and this works on multiple levels, to see what this poisoned mind, this person who couldn't be saved from the jump, and Harry saw that. I rewatched the ending of the first season of Dexter, where Brian Moser expresses to Dexter that everybody looked at him the same, just as an effed up kid. Well, Brian, I hate to break it to you, but that's exactly what you were. Now, the way that the show opened, again, kudos to the writers, because we never thought about further trauma that Brian would have been subjected to without Dexter. Not only without his brother, but just being discarded over and over again, and then basically joining the Lost Boys at a mental institution and having to be raised by the system. That's something that we'd never considered, that the ice truck killer would have had to endure in his upbringing. So when Harry comes face to face with him, yeah, he rightly gets called out by Brian for his indiscretions to have caused everything that befell them, and how it didn't, to a degree, this wasn't the intention or the work of Harry. It was a byproduct. I mean, it's obvious who the bad guys were, but to be confronted by that by Brian, like Brian and Dexter had to pay for what can be. It was an indiscretion, the affair that Brian's mother had with Harry. But in reality, Harry's family, with the exception of the affair, Harry's family was not affected by it. Brian's most definitely was. So to be confronted by that, oof, that rooftop scene was a powerful moment. And much like Harry having dealings with LaGuardia, it was never considered that there would be a crossing of the paths between the ice truck killer and Harry Morgan. And as I mentioned before, this adds way more weight and context and what's the word that I'm looking for? Just more of a gut punch to the relationship between the ice truck killer and Deborah Morgan. The fact that in the previous episode, Brian Moser tried to smother Deb as a baby, just to attempt to finish the job. And it sounds horrible to say that, to attempt to finish the job when they were adults. Oh my God, man. In addition to that, I mean, at the same time that Harry is being confronted by Brian for Harry, inadvertently as it may be, to have played his part in what befell Brian and Dexter's mother and Brian and Dexter as well. In addition to that, hey, Harry was right. Harry is faced with what Dexter could have turned into without him. That's what I mean about this show, man. The lore and the mythology, it's not just surface level. It's not just a paint by numbers psycho killer type of tale to be told. And this is what differentiates, one of the many things that differentiates slashers and serial killers. Like, you would never confuse a Michael Myers, a Jason Voorhees with, for instance, a Candyman. It's not like that. It goes so very much deeper when you're dealing with serial killers. And the horror is their mind, not always just the massacre. You know what I mean? And a serial killer can terrify you just by speaking. Whereas slashers, I mean, that entire genre relies on stereotypes too, if we're being honest. But regardless, Harry telling Brian Moser that Dexter could have turned out just like Big Brother without Harry, while that might not have been the right thing to tell Brian, it was the right thing that was said, because it's true. And Dexter gets confronted later on in season 3 when he finds out that Dexter's going to be a father. Deb asks him point blank, where would you be without Harry? And she's right. So the fact that they had that, it wasn't just a confrontation between them, between Brian Moser, which basically represents Harry Morgan's dark secret. it wasn't just that they had that confrontation, but they reminded one another. Brian reminded Harry, and Harry reminded Brian of two very twisted realities and dark truths and revelations that both needed to hear. It was less effective for Brian because Brian doesn't have he's not human. He doesn't have a soul. And I like how Harry hearing what it is that happened, what it is that he's culpable for, and what it is that has transpired. Harry accepted it. He has no delusions of innocence. You know what I mean? And I like that. So while this episode didn't end the way I thought it was, man, I thought we were gearing. I'm like, this is the end of Harry. I did enjoy it, and that beginning with what's his name, Brian's past, as well as new follower Speedo 00. Welcome aboard and thank you. I hope you enjoyed the watch. Anyway, so I very much enjoyed that. I enjoyed this episode. The backstory, the history of Brian Moser and his confrontation with Harry, as well as Harry's acknowledgement of Dexter's goodness. This show, man, I get the weekly reminder with this show of why Dexter is my favorite show of all time. I'm very much looking forward to Dexter Resurrections, as I imagine you are as well. And what more can I say? This has been a really good season of Dexter. I guess I should do something of a post-mortem discussing my thoughts on the show, but on the season, I should say. But I hope all of you, Dark Passengers, have enjoyed this watch party, this episode, this season. I hope you'll join me when Dexter Resurrections comes back, because I will absolutely be doing watch parties of it. And let me think. I think that's pretty much it. Let me take care of a couple of items on my exit. So now let's discuss what's on tap for the Mind's Eye Theater as well as the Greater Mind's Eye. That didn't go out so well, so let's try that again. That's more like it. That's a ticket. So, I have been busying myself this week with previews of 2025 horror. So, on Monday, I did a preview for horror movies. On Wednesday, I did a 2025 horror preview of horror on TV. And I didn't get to do my 2025 preview of video games in horror, but I'll be doing that coming up soon. I have had a number of different live streams, as well as, live streams and watch parties. On the watch party side, I have done Beetlejuice. I did a watch party of The Mean One, which is a horror B-movie version of The Grinch. Highly recommended, very funny. I have done a Nosferatu 1922, so the original. I did a watch party of that, and of course, be sure to catch up not just on other Dexter episodes of Original Sin, but be sure to catch my episodes where I did watch parties for each episode, episodes 1 through 9. And on the live stream side, I've done live streams of 2 remasters: Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, rounds 1 through 3, and The Thing, rounds 1 through 3. Now that we're in February, I did a live stream of the survival horror game Kolot to kick off month number 3 of the winter stream warning. So I like to use the seasons of the year as an excuse to do survival horror events, and it just so happens that since we're in the middle of winter, I did my second annual winter stream warning. And like I said, we're in month number 3 with Kolot. So now that we have a 3-day weekend ahead of us, I am going to be doing a catch-up, not just on Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Round 4, but The Thing, Round 4 as well. I've done a precaution and aftershock of both the Nosferatu remake and Blumhouse's Wolfman. So those are basically a preview of a movie before I head out to the theater, and the reaction video fresh from having seen whatever film that I went to the screens for. In addition to that, I'm trying to think. I did a reaction video, a final reaction video, just to put it to bed, to put it to rest, of the Wolfman, which I refer to as a cry wolf, the Blumhouse failure in reinventing its Wolfman. Also, I did a a reaction video recently to the Scream 7 casting. I labeled it Scream 7 Cast the World. So I hope that you'll take a gander at that. And let me think. I believe that's it. So now let's take a look at some coming attractions before I close this out. So now that we have a 3-day weekend ahead of us, I'm going to try to do a Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver Remastered Round 4. That would be on tap for tomorrow. On Sunday, I'm going to be doing a Thing Remastered Round 4 live stream. I will see if I have time. I'm going to attempt to do overcasts of both Doom the Dark Ages and the Blood of the Dawnwalker. I have interesting news items that's recently come to my attention regarding the Bloodwalker. So I'm sorry, the Dawnwalker, that I want to give my 2 cents on. I have to see, because I do have plans in addition to going to the gym. I have been under the weather, which is why I couldn't do my 2025 preview for video games. I can tell you definitively that on Monday I will be doing a watch party of the horror movie that, my God, I didn't get to see in theaters, and I have been waiting. Let me see. It came out in July. July would have been... I think July. Let's say July. It would have been July of 2024, and it's now February. So 7 months I've been waiting for Longlegs to finally be available on streaming, and not for purchase. Damn it. If it's coming out on streaming, I should have to purchase it. I've been waiting for Longlegs to finally, and in fact, it's probably only coming to streaming because the director is coming out with a movie, I think, next week or the week before or the week after, called The Monkey, a Stephen King adaptation. So that's probably the only reason why this is coming out on streaming. Regardless, I have been waiting for far too damn long, and to be honest, since December, I have been... the watch party has been embroiled in Dexter episodes. So now that we finally concluded with that, I do want to get back to my regular watch parties. So that will be on tap. And let me think. I will be doing watch parties of Smile 2 as well as The Inheritance coming up. So you will have all of that on tap. So you do have plenty of content that's coming your way from me, all of which horror related. Additionally, on Tuesday, I will be resuming my usual time and date of the Survivor Horror live stream, and we're going to pick up with the game Kolot. So we'll be doing live stream number 2 then. And that's it for me. Again, if you only joined for my watch parties of Dexter Original Sin, I do hope that you'll keep in mind some of the horror content that I have coming up. If not, I will see you in the summer when I do my watch parties geared towards Dexter Resurrections. So, mark your calendars and say your prayers. I've been Incarnate, offering a word of caution. Fear the worst, so long you recognize who's best.
Time to your fate, time to subscribe to your fears.
Scary night, isn't it? It's like right out of a horror movie or something.
See you in your dreams. Oh, come back anytime. Bring your friends.
Welcome to my